Using credit cards wrong could be costing you hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and it's not something that's being talked about in the military, which is why in this video, I'll go over the most important credit card mistakes to avoid if you're in the military. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sergeant Win. I've been into credit cards and money ever since I graduated from boot camp. So I make these videos to try and help other military members with my experience and research. Okay, the first mistake is using your full credit limit. Using your full credit limit means that you've spent up to or borrowed the maximum amount that your credit card allows. For example, if you have a credit limit of $5,000 and you spend $5,000, that means you've used your full credit limit. And if you do this, your score can drop. This is because banks like to see that you're using less of the total available credit limit. Using all of your credit is basically telling them that you're in financial trouble, and it's a red flag for them. And so if your credit score lowers, it's going to make it harder to get loans or credit in the future. And it's also going to put some financial stress on you, especially if an emergency comes up and you need money. Now, experts say that you shouldn't spend more than 30% of your credit limit. For me personally, I never go above 10% just to be safe. Of course, that's easier for me now that I have over 10 credit cards, but in the beginning, you have to be really frugal about what you're spending on. So if you only have a $100 or $200 credit limit, then just use that on small stuff, and then eventually you can get another credit card. And then you'll be able to spend more because your credit limit is going to be higher. Mistake number 2 is carrying a credit card balance. This means that you haven't paid off your credit card by the due date. So you still owe money to the credit card company and you're going to have to pay it back over time. When this happens and you have a balance on your credit card, the credit card company is going to charge you interest on the money that you owe. This can add up quickly, and right now the average interest rate on credit cards is around 20 to 25%, which means if you owe $10,000 and you only put $200 every month towards that debt, it would take you over 9 years to pay it off. Having a balance on your credit card can also hurt your credit score, especially if you used a large percentage of your credit limit. Not to mention, again, having a balance that's just going to cause even more stress on you. The more you owe, the harder it's going to be to manage your current budget. And so what if your girlfriend suddenly gets pregnant or a family member needs their hospital bills paid for? Trust me, you don't want to be worrying if something goes wrong, which is something that I've seen a lot in the military. Things can spiral quickly, and this can affect you and everyone in your life. So I always recommend paying off your balance in full each month. You never want to carry a balance. And quick tip for this, you can actually set up automatic payments so that you don't forget, and it'll pay off the balance in full by the time that it's due. Okay, next is getting a cash advance. A cash advance is when you use your credit card at a bank or at an ATM in order to get cash out. This is going to give you quick access to money, but it comes with a lot of risks. The first being that cash advances have higher interest rates compared to regular credit card purchases, which means you're going to end up paying more money in the long run, and this is a slippery slope that you do not want to go down. The next thing is that unlike regular credit card purchases, cash advance interest rates start right away. So even if you pay it off quickly, there's no way to avoid that interest rate. You may also have to pay a fee for getting the cash advance. So whether it's a flat rate or if it's a percentage of the cash that you borrow. And again, this is just going to add more to the cost of borrowing money, and it's just going to dig you a deeper and deeper hole. This can also affect your credit score, right? Because if you have more debt and you're not able to pay it off, this can hurt your score. So unless it's a very, very important emergency, I don't recommend anybody get a cash advance ever. The next mistake is only paying the minimum payment. This means you're paying the smallest amount required, so anywhere between $20, $30, $40 per month. And a common misconception with this is that people think that if they pay the minimum payment, they're good, like they already paid their credit card bill. So first, you're not actually paying your full credit card bill. And second, when you're doing these minimum payments, you're going to be spending more time to pay off the balance and paying more interest over time. So again, you do not want interest. You don't want a balance. The only time when it's okay to pay the minimum balance is if your credit card has a 0% APR period for a certain amount of time. Typically, this is an offer that you get when you sign up for a new credit card. But if you don't have this, you should be paying off as much as you can. Or to avoid this situation in the first place, you should only spend what you can afford. This means if you want to spend, let's say $1,000 on your credit card, you better have $1,000 in your bank account to pay it off. The next mistake, which I think is the most important, is not using the right credit card for you. There are so many different credit cards to choose from, and it's very important to choose the right one. one because they all have different benefits. So for example, the type of credit card that I talked about earlier, which was the 0% APR card, this gives you no interest for the first few months of opening up that credit card, which makes it great for paying off high interest debt. So yeah, the main thing here is that you just want to find a credit card that fits your spending habits or your financial goals. For example, if you know that you're going to spend over $500 next month, then you can sign up for a credit card that gives you a $200 cashback bonus when you spend $500 or more in the next 3 months. Or if you spend a lot of money at gas stations or at grocery stores, you can get a credit card that gives you high percentage cash back on those types of purchases. So the bottom line is, if you choose the wrong credit card, this could make you miss out on a ton of great perks such as free travel points, cash back, or discounts that can save you a lot of money in the long run. And by the way, I'll leave a link down below to my favorite credit cards if you want to check out the best 0% APR cards, travel cards, and etc. The last mistake that I want to talk about today is not using your credit card. Now, you may be thinking, hey, at this point, all the bad things that you've told me, what if I just don't use my credit card to avoid those things from happening to me? Well, this is going to do that, but it's also not going to help you, because one of the ways that you can increase your credit score is to keep paying off your balance. And if you don't use your credit card at all, some credit card companies are actually going to close your card down after a certain amount of time. This could hurt your credit score, especially if it's one of your older credit card accounts, because a big thing that the banks look for is how long you've had a credit card for. Now, the most efficient way to prevent this from happening to you is by setting up automatic purchases for each of these cards for things such as a phone bill or an Amazon Prime subscription. Then, like I said before, you can set up an automatic payment so that you can pay off your balance in full each month and you don't have to worry about that credit card. So that's it for this video. Hopefully you found it helpful. Again, I'll leave an affiliate link down below to my favorite credit cards if you guys want to check them out. It would help to support the channel so that I can keep creating content like this. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.